Hi, this is Bruce, and in this video we're going to look at the solution for the animation challenge, which, if you remember, is to create an animation that changes or swaps an image on hover using CSS3 transitions, and obviously we're going to upload it and label it properly. So what I'll do is I'll create a little horizontal rule here just to kind of separate it. I'll put mine down below. Obviously you can put yours wherever you want. And I'm going to add two images to a figure. So we'll have them both inside a figure. And then the first image, I'm going to use the images/HTML5. And I only got one image. And then the second image, let's just reformat this a little bit. And the second image is going to be, let's do CSS3. And let's give these a classes. So this one will start off as being visible. And we can set this class to start off as being hidden. And you'll notice I made a mistake. I was thinking class, so I put the dot, but of course we only put the dot in CSS. Now I'm working in a different file, as you can see, but obviously you are welcome to work in the same file in your transitions file. I've just added exercise 1.2. Okay, I'm going to, let me just challenge. Okay. So I'm going to create a selector for that visible class. And I'm going to set the opacity to 1. And then I'm going to create another selector for the hidden class. And I'll set the opacity to 0. So then if we do this and we take a look online, so I'm in transitions EX12. So EX1_2, is it like that? Transitions, let's make sure I've uploaded this. Okay. So you can see here we've got our two images, and we've got the opacity change on them on hover. But what we want to do is we want this one to start off hidden, and then this one to hide when we hover over top of it. And of course we want them one on top of the other. So let me just go up here and make sure I've got the proper x1_2, the proper CSS, and now we can see that the second image is hidden, right? Or it has an opacity of 0. So the next thing we want to do is we want to place them one on top of the other, or one under the other. So I'm going to go for both of them. So I've created a selector for both images, and I'm going to set the position of both to absolute. And although this is the default, I'm going to set the top to 0 pixels and the left to 0 as well. Now, you'll see that this is going to be a little bit different than maybe what you expect, because now they're going to be positioned on the page absolutely. But the trick is, if we come back here and we make a figure, and we position it relative, then what should happen is the absolute position of the images should be relative or inside the figure with that has a position relative. So it's taking both of these position statements, take them out of the main DOM flow and put them into another flow. And does this work? Did I upload it? And what I'm not sure is I might have to make a section. Nope. Okay. So now you can see the position of the image is absolute, and it's contained within the figure, which has a position of relative. So that's a little trick that you may or may not have known from a previous web development. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to be able to hover over top of HTML, HTML5, and have it disappear and have the visible one appear. So I'm going to go down here and do figure hidden. Figure hover. So I'm going to set the and I'm going to do figure hover hidden. I said hidden, and we'll set the opacity to 1. So when I hover over the figure, then the hidden one opacity will change, and so we should be able to see it. So let me just upload that and come back here and refresh. And now you can see when I hover over the CSS3 image transitions from 0 opacity to 1, and we can see it. Mine is a PNG, and they don't match up quite exactly. So what I'll have to do is, at the same time, this may or may not happen for you, depending on the size of your images and things like that. But what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to hide the HTML at the same time. So I can just come back here and do the same thing. So figure hover, and this time the visible one, I'm going to set the opacity of it to 0. Okay? And just one thing to note while we're here is you notice that I didn't change the transition, or we still have the transition here on image. So this is applying to all the images, including the images in the figures. Of course, these are only applying to images within figures, and if we look at the top image right here, it's not within a figure, so obviously those styles are not applying. Let's come back here and refresh one more time. And then now you can see as I hover over top of the HTML5 image, the opacity from it goes from 1 to 0, and the CSS3 image with a class of .hidden has an opacity that goes from 0 to 1. Okay. So I hope this helps. This is not the only way of solving this particular challenge, and I'm looking forward to seeing your solutions as well.